And what's up, Blue Devil Nation? Coming to you today from the Blue Devil Field. We got a awesome WHAC lacrosse matchup for the men's. Blue Devils coming in at 5-5, going up against the conference rivals of Concordia University and Arbor Cardinals. They've coming in at 2-8, having a bit of a rough start to the year. But Blue Devils coming off a win last week against the University of Michigan Dearborn, winning that one 16-15, and then losing in a controversial game to Madonna in overtime, 11-10. So as we come here for the start of the game, here's your starters for Concordia. Number 1, Andrew Simons, the freshman from Waterford, Michigan. Number 4, Marcus Villagomez from Waterville, Ohio. Noah Sorenson, the midi from Holland, Michigan. Number 7, Matthew Mahoney from Utica, Michigan. Number 12, Blake Blaisdell from Romeo, Michigan. Number 15, Sam Saje from Macomb, Michigan. Number 21, Jacob Greenway from New Baltimore, Michigan. Number 38, Cameron Dixon from Fenton, Michigan. And number 41, Sam Bowling from Canton, Michigan. And last but not least, Patrick Bondarek from Royal Oak, Michigan. And then the starters for your Lawrence Tech Blue Devils. Number 6, Eli Lozinski from Walled Lake. Number 9, Maverick Muscat from Heartland. Number 11, Ryan Fleury from Harrison Township. Number 14, Wyatt Nedball from Royal Oak, Michigan. Number 16, Bryce Avenall from Fenton, Michigan. Number 22, Samuel Pickleha from St. Clair, Michigan. And Concordia getting a control off the draw there. And then number 24, Ryan Pastorino from Warren, Michigan. And number 28, Brady Clark from Walled Lake, Michigan. Number 33, Joel Smith from Romeo. And number 39, TJ Kaminsky from Sterling Heights, Michigan. Joining me today, some of you might know him, the graduate assistant with the hockey team, but also former college lacrosse athlete from Columbia
College in Missouri.
I knew it started with a C. I couldn't remember exactly where it was in Missouri. But quick goal there by number 2, Travis Wright. So it looks like he kind of snuck in on the starters for us there. And that's going to be Travis Wright's 13th goal on the year in his 9th game. So 1-0 right now, Concordia. And Nick, what are you seeing from Lawrence Tech right off the jump here? It seems like Concordia is really aggressive in their zone.
Yeah, it looks like they're coming out hot. They definitely notice that's a big WHAC matchup. Definitely putting the pressure on early. Definitely looks like their face-off guys doing some pretty decent work. From what I saw, I think he's got like a 50 or 60% win percentage so far on the season, which is pretty good, especially based off their record. Looks like they're kind of staying in the fight in some of these games.
Yeah, and it seems like we're already getting time stoppage here. Ooh, broken racket. That's always fun. Now, I know you're relatively new on the LTU scene, just coming in this year to help out with the hockey team, but for me, I got 7 years around the university and the teams and stuff, so I know with such a young team for the Blue Devils, this year's kind of been up and down, but talking with the head coach for the lacrosse team at the beginning of the year when we did the kind of preseason video, he said they're kind of just happy that they're getting to play games again, especially after how COVID went for them, that it was really rough, kids being in and out of the rosters, so...
Yeah, absolutely. I know my senior year at Columbia was one of the first years to get cut short by COVID, and definitely a tough one just because you play all 4 years, you get that senior year, and then it gets cut short like that. But just to see these kids running around playing lacrosse again is definitely nice to see.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you. When COVID hit, I was kind of in that last stint of my college career too, and luckily, I mean, we were able to finish the season out. We didn't really get to go to nationals because we had a bit of a rough year ourselves with injuries, but we both got to go with the hockey team down to St. Louis this year on the D3 side, which was definitely a blast and a good showing for another Blue Devil team, as it looks like LTU is going to grab possession here. And it really seems like these attackers are kind of having a field day down there right now for Concordia.
Yeah, definitely. All starts in transition, though. It seems like LTU's having a little bit of trouble clearing the ball, which... defense leads to offense leads to defense the other way, so transition definitely needs to kind of wake up a little bit, get the ball in the offensive zone, work it around a little bit, give the defense a break.
Yeah, it's always that old adage, your best offense is a good defense, and it looks like Concordia getting another goal here, number 11, Ryan Iles, he's going to get his 16th on the season. And Concordia up 2 goals here quick. And it's the transition game for the Blue Devils right now, really kind of being that easy attack for Concordia, especially, I mean, when you're going up against a team that's 2-8, maybe mentally you're kind of a little like, oh, we got this, don't worry. But Concordia kind of coming in with reckless abandon, you could say, and just saying, screw it, let's go for it, and try and take them down a peg.
That's one of the nice things in lacrosse. It can go either way. It doesn't matter if you're 2-8, 10-0, doesn't matter. You come out with a fire, you're bound to put something together.
And Lozinski trying to find something here up top. Finds the hole, cuts in, and that shot's going to go wide right. And Lozinski back with it. Flurry over to Ford. That's a ground ball there. That one's going to pop off the stick of Greenway for Concordia, so Muscat's going to pick that one up. Now back up top for the Blue Devils. Over on that left wing, cuts in, long shot from Ford. And Concordia getting a really quick transfer here. Almost grabbing the give and go there. And now you're starting to see some cracks in that Concordia offense and defense with just really easy missed passes here. Nice shoulder check there. And quick transition. It looks like we're going to get a penalty here on Concordia. And Ryan Iles looks like he's going to be the one getting a call here. And what is Iles going to be getting here?
Yeah, they got him for a high hit, I think. It's, going back, that wasn't terribly high, maybe a little bit from behind, but...
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a 30-second penalty there, so Muscat trying to find something quick here in the quick short shot. And Damian Hudson, the junior from Okemos, Michigan's going to put that away and get the Blue Devils their first goal of the game. 8:18 left in the first. And that's going to be Hudson's 7th goal on the season. And Blue Devils finally breaking that lead and draw, getting aggressive out there. Bodies all over the place.
That was my bread and butter in college. I was a face-off specialist, really getting dirty, getting the ground balls.
I never got to play lacrosse growing up because I was downriver kid, so it wasn't really huge down there. But I've always found the sport interesting and kind of compared it to the way hockey is a little bit.
It's nice. You get the physicality of hockey, but you get the technical defensive side of like soccer and basketball. Kind of mashes a bunch of sports up into one, and you get the great game of lacrosse.
It's kind of like you told somebody, like, in the desert or the plains, like, hey, I need something that's like hockey, but also I really want to run.
Pretty much, yeah.
A nice save there. Ryan Iles trying to get that 2-goal lead back. But Blue Devils standing tall on defense. And Blue Devil is down on the play. Didn't really see what happened because of our position in the booth, but it looks like Muscat, the one that was down, he's up and moving. See what the call here is going to be on number 13.
Getting him for head contact.
Yeah, Shane Durwa, the sophomore midi from Howell, Michigan. So see if the Blue Devils can take advantage of another penalty from the Cardinals. Now Muscat behind the net. Over to the left wing, up top. Here's the rip. That one's going to go wide. Now Muscat with it again behind the net, trying to find a passing lane. Finds it on the wing. Here's a rip, and that one's going to go wide again. Back up top. Trying to find an open man. Finds it ripped. Nice save by Concordia. And another Free ball chance here. Lozinski with it, trying to create some space, get his guys back into position.
Nice job being aware to slow it down and not just press the net.
Now Hudson throwing that back to Muscat. Over to the wing. Able to stay with it there is Sukup. Nice shot there.
Nice shot, even better save by the Concordia goalie.
Yeah, I mean, if
in tight, that's a tough shot to save, and he got a glove on it.
And Hudson just getting absolutely bodied there. Another nice save. And that's Sam Bowling. He's really standing tall in the net, trying to keep this lead for the Cardinals. That is a big boy back there on defense.
Absolutely.
Number 38, Cameron Dixon, the freshman defender. 5'10", 215 from Fenton, Michigan.
That's always a scary thing when you have somebody that big that can still move.
Yeah. And number 48, Patrick Boderick, too, another freshman with a bit of size for that Cardinal. Another solid chance there. But Bowling standing tall there.
Going back to transition is the name of the game. Looks like Concordia is struggling a little bit with the transition game now.
Yeah, it's kind of like that goal for the Blue Devils. Switched up the momentum a little bit. Richter on that left wing. Ground ball chance here. And the game already really starting to get physical.
Good hustle by the Blue Devils here.
Fleury was trying to find a chance there, but Muscat able to pick it up behind the net. Nice save there by Bowling. Didn't even know he had it, but nice rip by Muscat. That one's going to go up wide. Now Fleury trying to find an opening. Can't. Throws it behind the net. Pastorino now back up top. Lozinski getting some pressure. Another chance for the Blue Devils. And it seems like the Blue Devils are getting a lot of shots here, but what do you think about quality, Nick?
In lacrosse, really no shot's a bad shot. Concordia's goalie is definitely kind of standing on his head right now, seeing the ball. But I think what LTU needs to do is get the ball on the ground. With goalies in lacrosse, it's definitely a hard shot. The bouncer is one of the hardest shots that you can kind of track to save in. And then right now, I think LTU is just kind of shooting it into his body.
Yeah, there's that old joke with hockey where, especially when I was in college, we would always say the fastest chest in the Acha.
Yeah.
And it seems like that's going on a lot right now for the Blue Devils. I mean, they have 15 shots, but they're either going wide or they're right into his breadbasket. So Concordia back on the attack here. We haven't seen them down in the offensive zone in a little bit. But Evan Stewart with the ball right now. And another kind of goof on the pass. Simmons having a little bit of trouble with that. Now Sorenson up top trying to find a way to cut in. And Dunson Jr. doing his best to kind of take away that lane. And a wide pass kind of ends up going out of bounds here, but Concordia able to still have possession, and it looks like actually possession's going to go back to the Blue Devils here. So the Blue Devil defense doing a solid job here. So Brent Matthews going to get that up out of the defensive zone for the Blue Devils now. And Sorenson Jr. is going to carry it in. Muscat's going to try and set up here. Nice screed there by Hudson. Hudson's going to cut back. Saw something. Over to Muscat on that left side. Up top to Nick Sukup. He's going to rip it. Another easy save for Bowling.
Coming across the top like that, you got to put it on the ground. You have pressure on the hip. It's kind of hard to get those arms to follow through. Put that on the ground, and you might have an easy goal there.
Sukup coming through. Him and Muscat, really the only two big guys body-wise for the Blue Devils, but as we are through and we're back for quarter number 2. Concordia up 2-1, 2 quick goals in that first quarter, and the Blue Devils kind of getting a late one. Nick, what do you think the Blue Devils need to work on to kind of bring this one back in their favor?
Yeah, definitely getting some quality shots. I mean, they're getting some shots off, but they're not good shots. They're not ones that are going to find the back of the net, but definitely getting the ball on the ground, getting it over the goalie's shoulder. From the looks of it, this goalie seems like a pretty big kid. 5'10", 215. He's gonna cover the top of the net pretty well. So kind of getting the shots lown away and putting them in the back of the net, really.
Yeah, and the Blue Devils, who usually their offense was all pretty much 5'10" and taller in previous years, kind of starting to see the shorter guys kind of come in and make the difference for the Blue Devils.
Honestly, that's how the whole game of lacrosse is going. You're seeing a shift from a few years ago. All of your midfielders would be 6'1", 6'2", 6'3". Now you're seeing the short guys a little bit shiftier, a little bit quicker, can kind of get in the areas where the big guys can't.
And bodies all over the place down there. It seemed like a hit parade for a second. And Hudson kind of seemed like he got the worst of it since he got bodied by 2 people. But still battling here as Hovarter is going to carry that one in. And nice, solid solo goal there from Blake Blaisdell. Able to cut in, and he's going to get his 12th on the year. Concordia up 3-1 now. Really taking advantage early on in these first two quarters. And see what the Blue Devils can do to kind of turn around here. Because as we were saying early in the first, it really seems like their transition game is where they're getting caught, like really in the midfield. And Concordia able to get control off the draw there, but that's going to be a penalty flag.
It's a good face-off win, clean win by Concordia. Just kind of came in a little too hard on the body with the blind side. They're probably going to get him with a push with possession.
And it seems like number 28, Brady Clark, the freshman D from Walled Lake, Michigan, he's going to end up serving here. And it's going to be a 30-second pushing call. So, yeah, you were right on the money there. So let's see if Concordia can take advantage of this penalty. And Travis Wright, really seeing him with the ball a lot. And Blaisdell. And that's going to be a goal for number 5, Noah Sorenson. And Concordia taking advantage of that really quick. And Sorenson going to be getting his 7th goal on the year. And Cardinals up 4-1 really quick here. Nick, what are you seeing as a former lacrosse guy that is really giving Concordia the chance to kind of take advantage of the Blue Devils right now?
I mean, on that man up opportunities are all about ball movement, and they have, from what I've seen, they have excellent ball movement on the man up. It's really trying to get the defense confused, get them moving around, find that open lane, find the open guy. And then on that shot, he just squeaked that in short side. That was a very nice shot by Sorenson. Is that who scored?
Sorenson.
Yeah. But I mean, realistically, on defense, it's a lot of moving parts and communication throughout everybody on the defense, and it all cuts through the goalie. And what it seems like the LTU goalies are definitely calling out when to slide, when to fire, when to kind of attack the ball. Just kind of with everything going on, it's kind of hard to hear every once in a while. Maybe the defense aren't picking up when to slide, which is definitely hurting them in the defensive category.
And another quick tic-tac-toe goal for Concordia. Another one for Blake Blaisdell. And that's going to be his 2nd of the game and his 13th on the season. So 5-1 quick here for Concordia.
Yeah, it seems like in Concordia or LTU's defensive zone, Concordia is definitely taking advantage of the cuts getting in and out of the net, in and out of the middle of the field, kind of confusing the defense a little bit. Which that can make and break a defense. If you're out there getting lost, any team at the collegiate level is just gonna kind of pick you apart and find the open lanes and find the gaps, and unfortunately that leads to balls in the back of your net.
Yeah, and it looks like they're checking a stick here.
Yeah, that'll actually happen probably every timeout. They'll grab a stick from each team. Just kind of testing to see if it's legal. Obviously, there are specifications and rules with the stick. So if you get caught with an illegal stick, that's if I remember correctly, it's a 3-minute non-releasable penalty. It's kind of funny. Usually, you'll see the refs pick out the guys that get the ball a lot, score a lot of goals because they're the easiest ones and they're the ones they'll see the most. But every once in a while, they'll get you on an illegal stick, and that's a tough penalty to kill.
Yeah, it kind of seems like for me like a 5-minute major.
Yep, it's exactly
hockey.
like a 5-minute major in hockey. Even if they score, guy can't come out of the box.
So the Blue Devils finally getting some offense here for seeing a bunch of defense.
LTU really needs one here. Just kind of put one in the back of the net, get the confidence back up, switch the momentum a little bit.
Yeah, and it looks like we got some new guys kind of running here. And big mistake for the Blue Devils, and really seems like Concordia running full steam ahead off of confidence here after those 3 quick goals. I will give the Blue Devils middies this. They are running at 100 miles an hour. They might be making some mistakes, but they are being physical in that transition game and trying to force the Cardinals into some big mistakes.
I'm sure Coach Paul had a little talk with them at the end of the first quarter about transition, and you can definitely tell whatever he said to him was working a little bit. There hasn't been as many errors in transition as there has been.
Muscat looking for that bounce goal there in that bottom left corner. Another ground ball chance that gets taken over by Concordia. And Stewart running with a head full of steam down the field. Another quick chance here, and that one goes post to post and bounces out. So I don't know if that's luck for the Blue Devils or just unlucky for...
It's a little bit of both. So with a couple years ago, they implemented the shot clock in lacrosse. So ring one off the post, ring one off the goalie, resets the shot clock. You have some more time in the offensive zone.
And Travis Wright kind of taking two on at the same time, and it looked like that went off.
Great stick by Nedball, getting that stick in the passing lane.
Yeah, Jonathan Richter, freshman from Oxford, Ohio. And it looks like we're going to get a timeout for Concordia. So as they take a short break, so will we. And we'll be right back on the LTU Sports Network. And we're back from timeout there. And Blue Devils kind of getting through the midfield real quick there. Blake Blaisdell looked like he was going to try and take a swing at it, but couldn't get nothing on it. And Muscat resetting, so create some time and space. He's been doing a really good job at that so far today. Nice chance here. Another big save for Bowling. And Sukup using that body to kind of throw off the Cardinals. And we're going to get a stoppage here. But ball to the Cardinals. And Blake Blaisdell kind of getting popped and banged there behind the net from, looks like Wyatt Netball. And we talked a little bit about him before the game, especially about his speed.
Mm-hmm. Kid runs like a gazelle. I love it.
And a nice goal there for number 11, Ryan Iles. And another solid scoring chance for Concordia. That's going to put them up 6-1 with 8:28 left in the half. I mean, and what are some of the holes you're seeing on defense here?
It's just guys aren't getting back into the hole. With that, it kind of looked like the D mids were, or the middies that were transitioning off and the D mids coming on weren't back in time. They just kind of, Concordia did a great job kind of picking their head up, seeing what was going on, and found the open guy.
That pass always makes me nervous. Especially, like, even when I see it in soccer, like, when you see it all the time on YouTube and stuff, goalies missing those passes. It's just a quick goal.
My senior year, we were playing a game against Michigan Dearborn, and one of their guys passed it back to their goalie. He thought he had it, shot it right into his own net. We ended up winning 9-8 in overtime that game.
I bet you he felt dumb. And Hudson going through it, basically putting himself in a meat grinder there to try and get that goal. Now Muscat able to reset here. Fleury on the right side. Finds Muscat. Over to Sukup. And he's going to miss that pass from Muscat. Another turnover. And another chance for the Cardinals to extend their lead with 7:25 left. And looks like we're going to stoppage here. So it looks like turnover, Blue Devil ball.
Looks like they got caught on an offsides. So deep hole across the 50-yard line. Midfielder didn't stay back.
Now, I don't know if you've ever gotten to meet him, being the graduate assistant, but might have heard the name Alex Schluter.
I have definitely heard Schluter's name a lot.
Yeah,
never had the pleasure of meeting him, but I've definitely heard the name in passing.
One of the, I can say this with confidence, LTU greats on the student side, well, not only the student side, but the athlete side, was a great captain and forward for the D1 team for hockey, and also a great D-midi for LTU back a few years ago.
He's what, med school at Stanford right now, something like that?
I believe so, yeah. He's, I mean...
he is the definition of an academic weapon.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say nothing but good things about him, honestly. But quick time out here. And, Nick, I mean, just me noticing, it seems like the Blue Devils are getting a lot of shots here. Maybe not the best chances. And they're really kind of making it easy on bowling in that Cardinal net. Where on the other side, it seems like the Cardinals are doing their best to kind of take advantage of the passing lanes to really create some confusion, put some people in front of the goalie, put the ball low, and score.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I've definitely noticed about the Lawrence Tech offense is the shots we are getting, they're trying to pull it off with a defender right on their hip, where compared to Concordia, I'm pretty sure almost every single one of their goals, the guys had time and room, had room to kind of step into the shot, where our defense is trying to, our offense is just trying to shoot with somebody on their hip, and that's just the difference between a time and room and a pressured shot is night and day in lacrosse. It's the difference between just getting a shot off on net and actually being able to place it where you want it.
Yeah, now Ryan Iles, who's already got one today. But honestly, nice to finally see some beautiful weather here in Michigan. We've kind of had the run of it. So I bet the boys down on the field are kind of appreciating that. The last women's lacrosse game I did, it was raining, stopped raining, then it started raining and sprinkling again, and then it started pouring, and Ryan Iles getting another one for Concordia here.
I had to double take on the field. I thought we were man down for a second. The way Concordia was moving the ball was just unbelievable.
Yeah, so we were all joking around before the game on what the score was going to be, and I don't think anybody could have predicted that the Cardinals would be up 7 or up 6 with 5:27 left in the half. Don't want to try and give them another one here. The commentator's curse.
I will say, if this game continues to go the way it is, Paul's going to have it. That was a great shot. Blown away, far side.
And that's exactly... Oh, Paul's still not happy. That's when you know Paul's not happy.
Yeah.
But great goal there by Damian Hudson. That's going to be his... I believe he had the first goal of the game, too, so I believe that's going to be his 8th on the year. We'll double-check that in a little bit. But Joel Smith with it. Finds a man open with Kaminsky. And Kaminsky going to hop off real quick so they can get their attackers on. Lozinski.
Great vision, great pass.
And now the Blue Devils catching the Cardinals running here. Just like you were saying, trying to find those open holes. And they're doing a really good job of that. So with 4:44 left, Blue Devils kind of back in business here. Scoring 2 quick, really backdoor goals.
Yeah.
After Concordia stood, and their goalie Bowling have stood tall pretty much the entire first half here. And looks like that one's going to be Blue Devil ball. And Concordia trying to get out of the zone with it as they were able to take away that offensive chance. And again, it seems like late in the quarter is when Concordia really starts to have trouble. And the cracks kind of start to show and form. And Blue Devils really going to have to try and take advantage of late quarter action.
Stop here for the Blue Devils defense would be ideal. Great stick. Getting the sticks in the passing lane that was great defense.
And number 21, Hunter Hendricks, the freshman defender.
Yep, there's a flag there. That's going to be a push with possession. Maybe a push from behind.
Not only carries that in really deep for the Blue Devils, but drawing a penalty too, so... See if Blue Devils can take advantage here as this is their 3rd chance on a penalty. And it looks like we're going to get a timeout here from the Blue Devils, I'm guessing. So, yep, Evan Stewart, the sophomore midi from Waterford, Michigan. He's going to be serving that 30-second push penalty. But as you were saying, Nick, Blue Devils got a good stop there. So, guarantee Paul's trying to get the offense going here. And then Jack, the defensive assistant coach, who actually was a player at one time for the Blue Devils and then slowly transitioned over into the coaching side. I know he works really hard with that defensive team to kind of get them moving and going. So as we come back here with 3:18 left in the half, see if Blue Devils can put one away to bring this one back within 3. Now Muscat. Blue Devils able to get that up top. Hudson with it. Over to Lozinski. Back to Muscat on the back side. Trying to find an open hole. What a rip. That one looked like it went off somebody's dome piece.
Yeah, it definitely did. Someone's ears are ringing right now.
I remember my freshman year, I was a sports photographer doing my first lacrosse game, and I didn't really know how fast those balls can whiz by you. And I was kind of set up behind this, call it pads, for lack of better explanation of what they were. But I was kind of ducking behind them, think I'd be fine. And I was 45 degrees off the net. And it being my first lacrosse game, I didn't realize where they set up to shoot. And I had Gabe O'Neill. He was a former state champs forward or attacker for the Blue Devils. Ripped one by my ear, and it missed by, it had to be an inch.
Those things move, and they are dense.
Yes.
I give all the props in the world to lacrosse goalies because they are some of the craziest people you'll ever meet. I'm a goalie in hockey, and people ask me, they're like, "Oh, are you a goalie in lacrosse?" And I tell them, "No, I'm not that crazy."
Yeah, I mean, and goalies to me, they're another breed.
They are definitely they're a whole different breed of human. One of my best friends back at Columbia was a goalie, and he was telling me he said probably about after his junior year of high school, he stopped feeling shots in the legs, which can't be healthy, but
no,
that's why they're goalies.
And I mean, I played defense in hockey, and I love to block shots, but there was some that
you have a shin pad there. There's no shin pads in lacrosse.
Yeah. Like, you've probably heard his name, Josh Denemy. We called him the Denabomber. One of the hardest shots I've ever been hit by. I'll show you a picture at halftime of what my thigh looked like after I got hit by him once. It was purple and yellow for a month. And I can only imagine if it was a lacrosse ball. So 1:20 left. Blue Devils not able to take advantage of that penalty. And Cardinals back on attack again. And that was a rip over there on the left side from Ryan Iles. Again, trying to find his third one on the day. And like you were saying, a lot of time and space for Concordia. So do you think that's just the Blue Devils not being aggressive on D, or Concordia just able to get open?
So from what I've seen, it looks like the Blue Devils are running a zone defense, which in a zone defense in lacrosse, you will give them some time and room out on like the 15, 20 yard mark for that far shot. It's kind of a close defense kind of system. So they've done a little bit better in the latter half of this quarter. They're really only giving them time and room from a 15 to 17 yard shot, and if you're pulling that off in this level, you've got a shot.
Yeah.
But I'll take a 15 to 17 yard shot as a goalie any day.
And as the clock hits 0 here at the half, Blue Devils down 7-3, but slowly trying to take control back in this game, out shooting the Cardinals right now. Plenty of shots and chances, but the Cardinals just kind of having their way with the Blue Devils a little bit. In the earlier part of the quarters. So we'll be right back after a short 10-minute break on the LTU Sports Network. And we're back for the second half. Quick goal there for the Blue Devils, and then Blake Blaisdell getting his third of the game. So we kind of talked about it a little bit during halftime, Nick, that Blue Devils really need to change some things up. I mean, they scored a quick first quarter goal, but Concordia already putting 2 on the board early here in the third. You think it's just Blue Devils coming out slow every start of the quarter, or?
Right now, I think what's going on is how we were talking a little bit earlier about transition. I think right now turnovers are absolutely killing LTU right now. I mean, perfect example what just happened. They had possession time, bad pass, throw it away, turnover. Luckily, Concordia just did the same thing. I think right now it's the shiny helmets for both teams. Both teams rocking the chrome helmets. The sun hits it a little differently, gets in the eyes. I'll blame it on that.
It's a good excuse. I remember when they first brought the shiny blue in, it was definitely a difference, especially because that was back when we were playing at Detroit Country Day, which kind of helps us out in the winter, and then some of our other games, which is now the home of U of M Dearborn. So good for them for finding a home arena to play in. And that looks like it's going to be Concordia ball here.
Yeah, Fleury's got to sprint to the sideline there, especially when he feels the pressure on his back. Again, luckily Concordia turns it over, but off a shot, you run through the sideline. That's one way to guarantee you get the ball back.
And it looks like we're going to get another timeout here. So if you were Paul, what would you be saying to the team right now to kind of get them juiced up and moving?
I can't say that on air. I would
PG version.
PG version
or PG-13.
Okay. Granted, it is a home game, but I'd be telling them to get off the bus. It seems like a couple of the guys' heads are still in the classroom. I know finals are coming up, but it's game time. We're halfway through the game, and a couple of the kids are kind of starting to wake up a little bit, but I'd tell them connect the passes, fundamentals. You can't preach it enough. Connect the passes, work it around, get quality shots. Because that's really right now their transition game definitely improved from the first half, but right now turnovers is killing them. Let's see. Yeah. First half, we had 15 turnovers. Concordia matching it with 17. That's a lot of turnovers. Usually you'll see between 15 to 20 in an entire game if it's played well. So 15 in one quarter is pretty high.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you there. I mean, turnovers in any sport is a killer, but it really seems like Concordia has excelled today on taking advantage of the turnovers, like about what's about to happen right here. And another turnover, and that's going to be nice possession for Concordia because they don't have to run the whole field here.
Yep.
Plus, they can get all their guys subbed in on the offensive side of the ball really quick here. And Joel Smith trying to beaten batter Evan Stewart. And Joel definitely, as a senior, kind of one of the veterans and leaders on that defensive side of the ball. I've had a few conversations with him over the year. I know he definitely takes pride in his defensive game and being able to stand people up.
Joel was actually, Joel and Wyatt were two of the first people on the men's lacrosse team that I met when I first came to LTU. Didn't know a ton of people. It was a nice day. Came out, shot around a little bit, and they came down, and they were like, "Are you a lacrosse recruit?" I was like, "No, I'm the GA for the hockey team," and they tried to convince me to get more eligibility somehow. Great save.
And that's gonna guess head contact there. The penalty flag was thrown. So not only is Concordia going to keep the ball here, but Blue Devils going to go man down, I believe.
They're getting them for a cross check.
You can usually hear the radio going in the booth next to us. So it kind of confirms what the penalty is, but I haven't heard anything yet. So cross check to the head, penalty there, minute penalty on Brady Clark, the freshman from Walled Lake.
Good defense by number 21, who is at Hunter Hendricks.
And Marcus Villagomez, slow to get up there, having a little bit of trouble there behind Brent Matthews.
Man down goal. Great execution. Had the time, the room. Great shot placement.
And our man down there, Dorian, he's been getting highlights for us. Got a bit of a point there. So I think Blue Devils starting to play with a little bit of confidence here, especially on that after that hit on number 4, Villagomez, the freshman from Waterville, Ohio. He still seems a little rattled.
Good tie-up on the face-off.
And Joel trying to do everything he can to get it going. Now Villagomez back with it, sends the pass off to Simons. And Travis Wright trying to create some time and space here. And Iles and Blaisdell really kind of seem to be making a difference for Concordia today. In that first half, Blaisdell had 2 goals and an assist. And Iles also had 2 goals and an assist. So if you're the Blue Devils, who do you think you would have key up on those guys to try and take them out of the game?
Yeah, honestly, I'm probably putting number 14 Wyatt Nedball and number 22 Sam Picklehop on them. Those seem to be 2 of your stronger defensemen. Either that or I'm getting 2 quick short stick D mids and just lock them off. Don't let them even touch the ball. Kind of make the rest of Concordia's team show that they can put the ball in the back of the net until they do that. That's the situation I'm going with right now.
Big mistake there for Concordia. Looked like their deep hole, kind of crossed over that line to try and pick up that free ball. So now free possession for the Blue Devils. So 4:12 left in the third quarter here. Blue Devils down 4, trying to grab another one here. Muscat going wide, finds a man.
Great save.
And Clayton Hoff was looking for a flag there, didn't get it. Now Blue Devils set back up again. Hoff up top to Fleury. Over the side to Lozinski. He's got one. Al Hudson. And quick, easy save for Bowling there. And Bowling trying to tell people to spread out. And Lozinski almost able to break up that pass there to Loria. Big chance here for the Blue Devils. Big man down for Concordia. That's going to leave a hole. And messing up on the chance there. And that's going to be a quick rip. Shot goes wide.
I will say that was 2 great poke checks by number 23, Ethan Flannery, at a gross point. Back-to-back, just kind of keeping the pressure on him. Calculated poke checks.
Yeah, the long stick middy's been doing a really good job today. And ever since that hit behind the net, Villagomez really seems like he's kind of shying away from the physicality of the game right now. I think that hit really kind of rattled his teeth a little bit. Nice pass blocked there by Jake Kidd. Here's Wright with the rip, and he's going to put that one top cheddar. 10th goal. Concordia now in double digits. So, Blue Devils seems like every time they score, Concordia has an answer here. So this fourth quarter, the Blue Devils are going to really have to dig deep and find something to kind of make up the 5-goal difference. And that looks like it's going to be possession Blue Devils. And Hudson getting a nice little pop there from Sam Saje. Or Saje. So Blue Devils back in the offensive zone here. See if they can get a 6th goal of the game. Now Sukup. Able to find Lozinski. Back to Sukup. Pastorino sends that one to Cornelius. Lozinski to Sukup, trying to get it on the bounce. Couldn't get it. Still Blue Devil possession. So it really seems that Blue Devils are starting to change their lineup here in the offensive zone. And Hudson going to try and get there. But that shot going wide left, so Blue Devils able to keep that. But I don't know about you, Nick, but it kind of seems like this lineup's kind of got a little bit more edge to them.
They got a little bit more pep in their step.
And Sukup, who has been physical all day, finally getting the short end of the stick. He's been dishing out all day. Sukup, a freshman from Oxford, Michigan. So definitely going to be interesting to see how his play grows here. A nice chance for Muscat. But again, Bowling standing on his head and keeping the Blue Devils really out of this game. And at the buzzer, that one's going to stick into the fence. But Cardinals able to put 5 up and stretch out that lead again. Just joining us now. Blue Devils down 10-5. Been having a bit of trouble here on the turnovers. 11:26 left in the fourth quarter. When me and Nick thought we were talking, we were still on commercial, it looked like a little bit. Having some technical difficulties. The system didn't want to switch over for us, but we were able to figure it out real quick. Well, it took us a couple minutes, but we were able to figure it out. And we were mentioning that turnovers have really been the bane of both teams here, and can understand why both teams have been having a bit of trouble in some of the games this year, with Concordia being 2-8 on the season, and another round ball chance there.
I will say, for Concordia being a 2-8 team, they definitely don't look like a 2-8 team. I would definitely like to see like what the scores of all their games are, because something tells me that they're not getting blown out every game. Something tells me they're in it every time.
Yeah, and then in our stats, LTU does a really good job of showing us the last few games and kind of giving us stats for the whole year. The Concordia stats, can understand why they don't really want to show us what's going on the whole season.
Yeah.
But so Blue Devils with 35 shots today, Concordia with 32. A lot of those shots kind of going wide around the net.
Yeah, actually, I just looked up Concordia's scores from all their games this year. They've had a few games where things kind of slipped away a little bit. They had a 23-2 loss to Aquinas, and then they bounced right back with a 20-7 win against Taylor. But yeah, this is not a 2-8 team. I just think cards are stacked a little bit against them right now, especially with the WHAC being a very tough conference to play in. I'd probably say it's the second or third hardest conference in the NAIA. Obviously the AAC, that's all the South teams with Kaiser and SCAD and Weber International, all those teams. I would say that's definitely the hardest conference to play in NAIA lacrosse, and then I'd say the next is a tie between the WHAC and the KCAC. The WHAC is obviously Lawrence Tech, Indiana Tech, Concordia, Aquinas, Lords, and then the KCAC, you have obviously my alma mater, Columbia College. You have Missouri Valley, St. Ambrose, who is currently the number 1 team in the nation right now. So I'd say between the AAC, the WHAC, and the KCAC, the national championship or the national champion every year usually comes out of that conference or one of those 3 conferences.
Yeah, and I mean that it just, for how small some of these schools are, it kind of really shows that the kind of athletes that they're getting. And nice defensive play there by Hunter Hendricks as he gets this one over. And again, Muscat finding a way to kind of slow it down here and that looked like it was going to be a rip, but he couldn't get everything on it. And now, quick transition chance here for Concordia, as they had the time to get it going here.
I will say NAIA lacrosse is definitely up and coming in the lacrosse world. I know from the hockey side of things, every kid wants to go play D3 NCAA lacrosse or D3 NCAA ice hockey or D3 NCAA or D1. Obviously, is the dream.
You want to go play for the big schools,
But the nice thing about NAIA lacrosse is it's definitely getting more attention, especially in the lacrosse world, because, I mean, there are, I think I was looking earlier today, I think there's something like 245 D3 NCAA lacrosse teams. And, I mean, no disrespect to any of the D3 programs around the country, but if you're not Tufts or Wesleyan or Salisbury, who are constantly in the top 10, if you're anything outside of that, you're just playing for the love of the game. Every once in a while, you'll get one that kind of squeaks in, and that's what's nice about NAIA lacrosse is you get that true varsity experience, and you honestly get more of a varsity experience because you're getting scholarship money. That's one of the great things about the NAIA.
Yeah, and I mean, I agree with you there. I actually had a debate on this on Twitter a little bit ago that there's I can't remember the exact Twitter page, but they kind of show sport to the ACHA, and basically, for those that don't know, the ACHA is kind of like the NAIA level of college hockey.
Yep.
So I will debate this till I'm blue to face, and I'll die on the hill, that there are some ACHA teams that I think that could destroy NCAA teams.
Absolutely. ACHA hockey is college hockey.
Yeah. Where I know some people say, oh, no, it's club hockey. It's club hockey because the ACHA says we can't get scholarship money.
Correct.
So it looks like we're going to get a quick timeout here. Or something. Looks like we're going to get a penalty here. On Concordia. It looks like Concordia's coach is genuinely pissed off with ref 123.
Yeah, so it looks like they're giving Concordia a delay game penalty. So for those of you that don't know, off a reset, you have to give the player that has the ball 5 yards. If you don't give them 5 yards, it's a penalty. So that's why quick starts off the whistle is definitely kind of a little bit of a mind game, where if you can pick up the ball and someone's right next to you and you start running and they blow the whistle, boom, flag goes flying, you get a penalty.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that a couple of times, but yeah, it looks like Travis Wright is going to serve that penalty. See if the Blue Devils can take advantage of this man-down situation. Big rip and a goal! Eli Lazinski going to get his second of the day, and Blue Devils finally able to put that 6 on the board and take advantage of Concordia. So with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, Blue Devils back within 4, and it has been a minute since they were here. So let's see if they can kind of take that goal, create some momentum, get it going their way. So Concordia already, and Villagomez not able to keep that one, kind of trying to do his best show of Superman. And And Zach McQueen, haven't heard his name today. He's going to get some playing time here in the fourth.
Great job staying in bounds over there.
Yeah, I'm always amazed at people's ability to really figure out how close they can get to that out-of-bounds line without doing it. Now Fleury slowing it down, letting Damian Hudson, who's been an absolute missile today, trying to get to that net. Finds Muscat back door, and he can't hang on to it. And De Cornelius was trying to create some space there, but again, bowling, really only reason why Concordia has been able to stay in this game is the Blue Devils have lit him up with shots today. He has 20 saves on the day.
That's impressive.
So it looks like we are finally going to have a timeout, as Concordia is going to call a timeout here. So we'll be right back on the LTU Sports Network. And we're back after that timeout. 4-goal difference between Concordia and the Blue Devils here. And Concordia trying to get that 5-goal lead back. But Brady Clark putting the pressure on Evan Stewart. But Travis Wright finally out of the box after the Blue Devils scored on that man-down situation. Now Wright getting the pressure on. And Villagomez going to get popped again. Oh, that one, he's going to feel that one.
That hurts.
Yeah. Yeah, he's visibly irritated. I have a feeling that's going to be a...
That's probably going to be an unreleasable penalty.
Yeah. I was going to say 2 minutes minimum there, because that one was a solid cross-check to the chops. And that's really going to hurt the Blue Devils here, as 4-goal difference, and now they're a man down.
Yep, that's an unreleasable penalty. Good call. Good call. We got a 2-minute unreleasable penalty to number 22, Sam Picklehop.
Yeah, the junior from St. Clair, Michigan. So that's going to be a huge loss, as he's been really solid for the Blue Devils today.
So that's just kind of getting frustration, get the best of you a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I liked his aggressiveness, but it definitely a little too much sauce.
A little too much. Now, for those of you that don't know, with an unreleasable penalty, Concordia, if they get the opportunity, they can score as many times as they want, and Sam will still remain in the box for 2 minutes.
Nice save
Great.
there by Muscat.
Great effort at the midfield line to avoid getting the over and back.
Now Dave Cornelius setting up behind the net. And Lozinski trying to take one for a rip out there. And I think it's really going to come down to the veterans on the team to kind of try and make the difference here.
With a minute 40 left in the game, 4 goals is not an impossible task.
No, I've definitely seen, we've seen the girls' team so far this year just absolutely shred through teams in a 5-minute period.
Absolutely.
So to me, to get 4 in a minute 30, I don't think it's impossible. It's just the Blue Devils are going to have to put it together for a minute 30 and really just be super aggressive on the attack here.
So with a minute 10 left, Concordia is going to go one of 2 ways here. They're just going to try to run the clock out, kind of make Lawrence Tech pressure, make a mistake, or they're going to keep trying to score. Seems like they're just going to try to run the clock out. There is a difference of about 8 or 9 seconds between the shot clock and the actual play clock.
I would say about 7 seconds.
Yeah.
7, 8.
So Concordia is gonna run the shot clock down to no time, kind of toss it in a corner, and make Lawrence Tech run the full length of the field.
Yeah, and Concordia going nuts right now. Being really excited about that.
Deservedly so. This was a hard-fought game. Concordia, like I said, 2-8 coming into this game, getting a big win against conference teams. Any conference win is a good win.
And at the end of the 4th, Concordia coming away with a big 3rd win on the year over the Blue Devils. So good on them as they really took advantage in the first half. Blue Devils really not coming alive until the second half. Eli Lozinski and Damian Hudson being 2 of the offensive highlights today. And then Clayton Hoff, he got one for the Blue Devils today. But on Concordia's side, really it came down to Ryan Iles, Blaisdell, and Travis Wright. And scoring most of their goals and being pivotal in the offense. So, just want to say thanks to all that watched today, and also say thanks to our highlight guy, Dorian, down on the field, getting the highlights for the men's lacrosse game today, our technical director,